welcome back to Rebel Headquarters. Great guest for you guys. Now in studio, Linsey Fagan, actually running in Texas's 26th district. She's a Just Democrat. That means no corporate PAC money, okay, and a very progressive platform. It is a Republican district right now. Michael Burgess is the incumbent there.
Yeah.
But I hear that you're going to kick his ass. Is that
I
true?
hear that too. Yeah, that's what I hear. That's I feel it.
Okay. Now primaries March 6th.
Yep.
So that means people are already voting in Texas, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. I didn't know how nerve-wracking it would be, knowing at any minute of the day people could be voting for me any second. So,
yeah.
But
well, let's get that party started. They already know. They already know you don't take corporate PAC money. They already know you're progressive. So how can they vote for you right now?
The polls are open 7 to 7 all the way until Friday, and then election day is March 6th.
Okay, so in Texas, I literally don't know. Is it mail-in? Do you go to the polls?
We actually, one of the other candidates, Michelle Beckley, she started the mail-in ballot initiative to where everybody 65 and older is automatically sent a mail-in ballot request, or they can request a mail-in ballot. So that's increased our mail-in ballot program greatly. And so you can mail in, you can early vote or vote on election day. So we're trying to get them all.
Yep. And so what I always tell you guys is primaries is more important than the general election. So the Republicans are in a world of trouble. There is a wave coming. And so it could wash out bad guys like Burgess.
Yeah.
So the question is, who's going to wash them out? A corporate Democrat or a Just Democrat, right? And so what makes you a Just Democrat? And what are the positions that you strongly believe in?
I think first and foremost, I identify that every single problem that we have, in my opinion, can be traced back to dark money. And so, I mean, our campaign is run completely only by individuals. No PAC money, no corporate PAC money. Our average donation size is $15, and we've raised quite a bit of money, $15 at a time. We've been really, really blessed. We've had donations from every single state in the nation. And I think there are a lot of people that are looking for a different kind of Congress, and a Congress that is representative of the people. And there's,
So what did you work as before getting into this race?
Yeah, I was a SEO consultant, so search engine optimization. I had a
we could use that around here.
yeah.
I mean, I want you to win and be a congresswoman, but
yeah. So I did SEO, and it's come in really handy actually, because whenever you're running up against somebody that has, Michael Burgess has, $1 million cash on hand, we have to be resourceful. We have to be clever with our money. We have to have a lot of organic growth, and we've been really successful growing an online base, a base in our community with almost virtually no money spent on online advertisement, just because I'm free.
That's your job, so you're really good at it. Maybe that's why you raised the money that you did. That's wonderful.
Yeah, we've raised almost all of it online, so I don't do a lot of fundraising phone calls yet, just because I like to be in the field with people. So
that makes
after
sense.
the primary, I'll probably have to start,
So this is among the reasons why the Democratic Party might be a little skittish about you, because one of your priorities is no longer selling arms to human rights violators.
Yeah.
They're like, then how would the military-industrial complex make their next $1 billion? So I pose that to you, Linsey.
I think that as much as the Democratic Party, I think a lot of times makes decisions that isn't representative of what Democrats on the ground level want. I'm here to do nothing else but to represent the people in my district and the people that feel like me, where we just want to do the right thing. I can't be bought and sold. There's nothing in this for me other than representing the people in my district, and that's what I'm here to do.
I love these candidates. Okay, let's put up a link. I need you to panic and do all of this, okay? But mainly at this point, since the election is March 5th, March 6th. Is volunteers the most important at this point?
Yeah, right now we're doing a really big push with postcards. We're sending out about 5,000 as we speak, and we can get them to people quick enough to send them in. So we can use help with postcards, phone banking, text banking. We can use all the help we can get, because we're running a clean campaign and really, really lean campaign as well. So we could use money, volunteers, any help we can get.
And look, primaries are even lower voter turnout than an off-year election. There's an off-year election and it's a primary.
Yeah.
So if we care more, we'll win.
Yeah.
So if you care enough to get out there, vote, to encourage others to vote, and spread the word and volunteer, those volunteer armies can, wipe out the corporate Democrats across the country. So of course, easy to click on those links down below if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. So another thing you've got on here is something that we just talked about on the show today. Amazon made $5.6 billion in profits last year and paid $0 in taxes.
Yeah, it's the more that I've researched it. So I was looking at the tax revenue we have, and the tax revenue we have as a country is really we put a lot of it on the backs of the American people, and corporations are not paying their fair share. The top, the 50% of the Fortune 500, they're not even paying taxes. They're actually, a lot of them are getting subsidies. A lot of the oil and gas companies are getting subsidies, and so. They need to be paying their fair share. I mean, I think, especially in Texas, more and more things are getting put onto the American worker. More and more things are getting put on homeowners. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, what are corporations paying for anymore? Because they're not paying a really good wage to their employees, and they're not paying taxes either. So, I mean, that's why we have to replace so many of these members of Congress, because
So those guys in Washington, they think they're so smart, and they'll see a candidate like you, Linsey, and they'll think, oh, that's so naive. Of course, corporations have to pay nothing, and you guys have to pay everything, right? But I think that the average American thinks, wait, maybe she's got a point. What if we had a whole bunch of people that actually represented us, and not some giant multinational global interest?
Yeah.
And
it's a concept, right? Quite a concept.
Like if we had a representative democracy, that'd be weird. But Trump ran against globalists. So I imagine in Texas, this whole idea of like, no, don't worry, trust the multinational corporations, they have your best interest in mind. I bet that doesn't play well. And we already know that the Democratic approach has not worked in Texas, right? The establishment approach. So why not actually try someone who wants to represent people?
It's so bizarre to think that the things that people are looking for right now, when I talk to them, Republican or Democrat, they just want good people. They want people who care about them. They want people who are looking out for them and their families. And a lot of times they don't care which party. They just want good people to represent them. And the American people at this point, we have such low standards. It's like, just anyone normal, anyone like me. I mean, I'm a single mom. Single moms don't have a seat at the table in Congress. None of us do. I mean, there are a lot of groups, we have no one looking out for us. And I just want to look out for the people in my district.
Yeah, and it's not too much to ask for, guys, for you to ask for representatives that'll look out for you. And Linsey's, I've seen your bio, you worked in the tech industry for a long time. And when smart people who want to help you come to help you, take it. Okay? It's not that complicated. I want to ask about one other thing, which is a little harder in Texas, which is gun regulation. What's your take on that?
I actually decided to run after explaining to my daughter how to hide from a school shooter on the way to school one day. And she got out of the car and she ran off, and I just started bawling, thinking, how am I explaining this to a little baby girl? And it broke my heart, and I cried, put my head on my steering wheel when I got home, and I thought, there's no way I'm gonna let this continue. There's no way she's gonna have that conversation with her kids over my dead body. And there's a lot of low-hanging fruit. I mean, almost everybody across the board wants to get rid of bump stocks. We really need to reevaluate who needs to have access to an AR-15s and similar weapons. Maybe we should have guns regulated at least as strictly as automobiles. There's so many things we can do, and for me, it's like, let's try this. If this doesn't work, let's try this. I mean, I will not stop until I at least fix that piece of it, because a lot of moms like me, we send our kids to school, and I'm worried every time. And then you hear these stories, and we have to fix this, and I have nothing to lose. I will go in guns blazing into Congress and try to fix this. I mean, I don't have I would love if my political career could last a long time, but I will do the right thing before I do what's right for my career, as far as a politician's concerned. So, and we need more people like that in Congress.
How about we try a passionate fighter for justice? All right, Linsey Fagan, everybody. If you're in Texas, you can vote right now. Go vote in the primaries. And March 6th obviously is the day that it's over. So vote now through March 6th, and we can win all these primaries if everybody shows up. So if you know people in Texas, all the districts are voting. So find out who your local Just Democrat is, or any other progressive candidate that's uncorrupted. And Linsey's running the 26th district. So thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, now when we come back, our first election night coverage in 2018. Speaking of Just Democrats, Brianna Westbrook is in that race. And I was just telling Linsey off air, I'm on pins and needles.
I'm so excited to watch. Yeah, I've been following her, so I'm pumped.
Yeah. Tonight we find out what happens in the first election. So all my rowdy friends are here: Anna, John, Jimmy. When we come back.